testing you. Just testing you,
Tested
G-Club.
you if you watched the video, spotlight video or not.
All right, we filled that time. That was great. Deckard Cain. Deckard Cain heals your pains, man.
Lornado doing no damage. I think Lornado should do at least some poison damage, you know?
Well then how's the boss on Sky Temple gonna feel about his tornado?
Well, can you actually control the tornado, or can you just send it in one direction?
I actually don't know, but I think you just send it in a direction. Maybe it bounces off of terrain. I actually only watched the spotlight video once.
I watched it a couple times, but didn't really get to read everything. I will once I go back home tonight. But it seems like a very nice CC that you can actually control everything.
Yeah. Stay a while, listen seems good.
That AoE seemed almost busted. Like half of the screen.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's like as big as Phoenix's salvo. Well, Ace doing the homework on the bus sort of approach to this draft. And by that I mean just not preparing before the moment they go into their first pick. Finally deciding on Garrosh. Trying to grab the Maiev, you would assume, but they won't be having it. They have Medivh open, but it's not historically their greatest pick. I mean, well, actually, like, factually, that what I just said was wrong. It is their highest win rate hero with more than one game played. 3 games played, 2 and 1. It is their highest win rate hero in their pro careers. 2 and 1. But it's not a hero that I feel like for them is going to be first pick worthy. It was picked in second rotation with Sonya on the games they won. So, some discussion here, but
lots of open heroes.
Yeah, like Malfurion is the safest pick. The Medivh is the wild card. Genji is no longer first pick material in Korea.
This is their own, not their own way. It has been the meta for a long time, but I think Malfurion is still great support, but first pick all the time, not that high of a tier, I would say. There are lots of other heroes that they can actually contest, like the DPS if you put the DPS higher into the game. Genji Hanzo pair. Insta pick from Feliz.
Shimada Mada. Both brothers.
Not even enough.
They don't have a third brother, what do you mean not even enough? Maybe there is a third brother, we actually don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe that whole like spotlight with Genji and Hanzo like didn't really tell the full story. Maybe there's a third dragon.
We'll never know.
Like, no, Wolf, you're your Blizzcon has Alex Strasso. I'm like, no. Please don't pick Alex Strasso on this map. Medivh comes through with the Sonya, so this is, I think, much better than picking it first, like I was talking about earlier. Tracer ban seems reasonable. Diablo also very strong against the Genji pick. I go with the safer Diablo ban. And now this, I feel, has to be an Uther ban.
You would imagine, right?
Yeah.
Hanzo, Genji, what pairs up the best? With Genji, Uther? That's an easy one that they can think of, but lots of... Only other way to go around with, I would say, is the solo lane, possibly. Okay, an easy Uther ban. Last time they had a funky one, just banning Avatar from Feliz last time.
Yeah.
It was cursed, it made some sense, but not the one that you would see from Ace to play, actually. With the Uther ban, there's going to be Stukov. I think that silence onto that portal has been working out a lot.
Burden is interesting.
OJ's favorite.
Yeah, that's a comfort pick, but not a strong pick, I don't think, at the moment.
Actually, is the only one right now in Korea playing Murden.
Yep. It's good for squatting the shrine to make sure that you can channel if you have both controlled and there's an invade coming. He can last a long time there with Avatar, and then usually escape. So DPS is, DPS and main tank for Ace. The DPS they're looking for is going to be one they can protect. It could be a carry. It's the Grey main, and the tank. Well, not a whole lot available. Could just be the Anubarak again. Very risky though against the comp they're running up against. Very predictable locations to silence, but they take it anyways.
No changes at all from Ace. I think it's really hurting them for the entire phase, to be honest. Sticking with the comfortable heroes, I think it's about time. After so many matches against the better teams, to change your picks a little bit, study into your hero pool, maybe try new things. But seems like right now they just want to stick with what they have been playing so far.
He's basically only played ETC and Anubarak.
And also gave me Malfurion 90% higher, and just one other support, which was Rhaegar. Just
you
once.
have to go all the way to the bottom to see that one.
Yes.
Yeah, very much a one-dimensional team at the moment. Their drafting has moved towards the high-tier heroes, with the exception of Anubarak. Obviously, we're talking about the Malfurion, the Sonya, the Medivh. They're moving towards more meta compositions, but yeah, it's been a little bit rough when that's all they can run and when things get banned or when the draft doesn't suit those heroes. The other team is always going to have an advantage in terms of hero picks. The Maltha will be a winning matchup against the Sonya. So, again, I question Feliz running this Muradin, but we might still be able to get some picks with it. Maybe they can freeze the lane. There's a few things you can do on this map to make sure that Muradin gets value. It could be roaming around to get those stacks for his Q. Feliz looks really confident with this one, G-Clef, but, I don't feel like they won the draft super hard.
Well, I don't think neither team won the draft, but in terms of compared to Game 1, Ace certainly has a better draft, I would say, with the Medivh, more higher tier heroes right now on this patch. Quite surprised that no Tracer is coming out from Feliz at all. I was expecting a few Feliz from Franco. But even last time when they were able to play him was when Tracer was open. I just let that through and then only played once in Game 3, I believe, against...
Sorry, it's in my cute shark notebook.
Against Miracle, and they actually won that game.
Well, let's see how this plays out now as we head into this laning phase. Battleground far worse for Feliz, interestingly. 1 and 7 on this map. Sprays for days.
Feliz has Hanzo and also Marthael, so their camp time should be on top. And also Greymane and Sonya for Ace. Should be a great rotation, but what do you do with that rotation? What do you do with the camp? How much you want to focus on pushing the lane? I think that's what we have to focus into this game, as these teams seem like they like to run slow into the game.
Yeah, see what Muradin did up there at top lane? That works so well if you're Sonya in this case, because you can stop the Malthael from continuing to push you in. But when you actually draft a Muradin into this winning matchup, he can't do anything except look at you, which is what he just did up there. It's fine, as if Sonya tried to collapse onto the Malthael, which the only time she can win that fight is if she gets the spear, and even still she kind of loses it, but then you get the kill. They're just trying to really heavily commit to this top lane with the winning matchup, I guess, to make sure they get these structures down early, and also grab the top Sun Shrine when that becomes available. They do get the faster camp, as you mentioned, with the composition they have. Odd amount of spraying happening this game. Perhaps a rivalry of some sorts between these two teams.
From the new Open Division to HGC Korea this year. Evan.
Oh, I like this invade a lot. They need to bring more people, though, or this isn't going to work. Silence comes through.
It was very risky. Gemi's caught, though. No more portal available.
He's going to die for it. That gets Aimer another reset. Hanaten comes down as well. They lose the Sun Shrine, but they should be able to rotate up and collapse on that immediately.
Very indecisive. If they wanted to go in, they should at least go all in, try to at least steal the camp. And then once they saw the rotation coming down, they were saying, should we go in a little bit more or should we go out? It was way too late by that time they were even thinking about that decision.
They could have collapsed onto Stukov as well as soon as the silence came in, instead of trying to win the fight without abilities while taking AoE damage. But it's like Aimer wants to perhaps relic this healing fountain, not going to. Just going to continue to harass Sonya to keep that Sunshrine controlled while Malthel takes the cap. OJ with some protection here, preventing the Greymane and Medivh combo from invading, because it's not easy for Malthel to clear that camp. He does lose a lot of HP doing so.
Tranquil just going to soak for now and try to get that simple geometry done as soon as possible, as you really want to finish that as soon as possible and go for your own camp. You do have Marthael, but it's somewhat of a tough matchup on top lane, so you want to get that quest done and try to poke your way out, as Gase would be just pushing in with those portals all the time.
It's a risky invade against the Medivh.
OJ going in, actually great silence from Liu.
Silence does not cover the whole area though. Ends up being a trade 1-for-1. They end up capturing the camp because the silence was poorly placed. It was on the right area in general, but not specifically the full area, which is why Ace was able to retreat to the right side there to avoid the silence and grab the camp. Simple geometry does finish. And they're just going to look to push down this wall. Very well executed here by Ace. Able to identify quickly that the silence was slightly misplaced. And this actually might be a Dragon Knight. It's a race to the center of the map right now for these two teams. The longer they put two in mid, the more the damage they're going to take bottom. So much pressure here.
Raven actually might. Never mind. Was taking so much damage. I think got caught by Muradin CC also. But because they're focusing two here, the bottom lane push was even stronger than they intended to. OG's going to stop this for a long time, but seems like the rotation, no problem. And the decision to actually push resources onto each lane is not the most perfect thing that Feliz is doing.
I don't like the commitment of two top in an already winning solo matchup, because you can't accomplish much in that situation. You could have, I should say, when there was ammo on turrets, but now that there's not, you don't get much out of it. Even in this case, where Rush was literally on the shrine, they can't kill him. And they're just giving up a free space in the bot lane, in the mid lane. Like, Hero can come down here and camp this because no one's pressuring him. He doesn't have to worry about the Genji because Genji's showing himself top consistently. And they gain nothing from this. One arrow minion's like, I'll take this well out. It takes me 10 days.
Because they got their own, Feliz got their own night camp and pushed top. Not to the maximum, because there was Sonya all this time. They were lost in what else to do. Hans was getting the bottom camp. We can't really invade. That's going to be very risky. And we're leading in the experience point by a slight bit. So they were trying to catch the rotation, possibly coming from Ace, but not really happening. So they just ended up wasting that time. But if you were any other teams on top Korea, I think they would have made the rotation downwards, tried to take that Moon Shrine away from Ace, using that time wisely. Or at least push that bottom lane a little bit because you lost your own.
Very great analysis of the situation. Somewhat wasteful, as you say, but they end up getting the healing fountain now at least. They have gotten back to their normal lane formation. They do have 10 with a slight advantage. Amy on the retreat here, gets stunned, but there's no follow-up there. But it does zone everyone out. Unfortunately, Medivh is pretty good at delaying Dragon Knights. But now the table is turned, because the threat of the Dragon Knight's going to keep resources from Ace in the mid lane, which means the bot lane and the top lane are going to be pushed harder. Hero nearly going for the commitment there, but decides he needs to stay mid. There's a lot of damage coming down here onto OJ. He's dead.
Ooh, great Moonfire to stop that channeling. Almost got it. I think more than almost sacrificed for that Dragon Knight possibly, but not going to be this case as that's lost. Missed root, but
good
still a
stun,
kill.
yeah. The root misses, but stun's well placed there. And finally, Ace is going to regain control of these shrines. Pushing mid really heavily right now so that when they come to channel, they can actually grab this. Like, Frankel, if this connects, Sonya can squat. Someone needs to be mid, and I think they are. Okay, she's not actually able to capture it. She stepped off. That was a very close call, but still going to catch them on the rotation here. Feliz just getting super outplayed on this map. Remember, we did mention earlier, they're 1-7 on this map. It is their worst map, despite historically being the stronger team. OJ coming in actually with a really good angle here, gets the stun.
Silence already used. KTB dives in with the CC, and they're in the choke point. And it pops that soul, but not going to be for long. There's that polybomb.
Polybomb just totally nullifying this Dragon Blade. This should be finally the first Dragon Knight of the game with 3 dead. Hanzo's doing this camp in the bot lane right now, the neutral camp. It's going to be a small, what's the word I'm thinking of here? Consolation prize. But Ace has total control over the lanes. They have level 13 now. Feliz just not understanding map reads very well. And this is why Ace has been looking better and better since we go into part 2 of phase 1. They've improved their drafting a little bit despite having small hero pools. Their rotational play has looked stronger. On a map like Dragonshire, which was their opponent's map pick, they are just outclassing.
In terms of rotation, Ace was actually doing a better job with the Haka in game 1 even.
Yeah, that's actually a great point you bring up.
Surprised that Feliz was the one choosing both maps, even Dragonshire, when they are not using the macro to their maximum benefits. They're actually losing the macro big time, as Ace has much more power in terms of CCs when you go into those choke points. So focusing all of your members, especially Martel and Genji, onto a polybomb. This is a bad decision going in, but you learn not to fight into smoke choke points. Maybe next one force the enemy out to an open wide area, and then try to fight your own with the Dragon Blade from flanking from the side.
It's basically it's one way to look at how to approach these fights. When you're being out rotated, it's tough to find those angles, those windows. OJ's in here on top of Gamey. Ooh, that was risky trying to go ahead and mount up there. He gets punished. Witcher is going to use a polybomb for disengage. He's just barely out of the range of the Dragon Blade. I don't think KCB is going to get out trying to save Witcher, allow him to become a Raven here. Hero trying to do a little bit more damage. Protection's on him, but he's playing risky, and that's going to cost big here on the side of Ace. We do see the scatter arrow come through.
Genji low.
Yeah, that was you know, I don't want to talk about that one too much.
Oh, that arrow landing on the CC onto a great chase with Mordin and Genji. They have the mobility there. I think that if those kind of chase continues, can be painful, but that was lack of coordination from Ace. I think if they actually stayed together, could have won that team fight if they wanted to start their own. They were only thinking about the retreat. And look at the angle. Franco has been just poking from the behind. I don't think there's, unless he really goes in forward to get greedy, to get the kill for some reason, he won't be having any damage on himself.
Yeah.
There's no poke to say from Ace.
No severe poke, right? Like, they have Cocktail and they have the Arcane Rift, but that's basically it. He's not really concerned about anything but making sure that he's not stunned. That's the only big major concern. Look at that silence on top of the portal. Don't you dare get in the portal.
Just in case, the only way I would say is maybe a Nubrak diving in and cocooning Hanzo for not having any escapes.
Yeah, Polybomb can come out right afterwards. There's a lot of ways to collapse that way.
But we're thinking about like the perfect situation.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, Hanzo can just poke, clear the minion waves, also the camp. That's what he has been doing this entire game.
Still behind in experience and kills at the moment, Feliz, but there's a way that if they can continue to take these advantages and continue to protect the Hanzo and force big, longer team fights with the Stukov pick, that they can win this game still. They're not really significantly behind. It's a very close game right now. Ace gonna look for this neutral camp because they have circle of protection. You know what that means. It's a lot of protecteds. Okay, the silence here actually canceled early by Liu. Perhaps a bit scared of the Nubarok dive, which does come in, shoves him away. They're able to take the camp, but I respect that Feliz knows that their comp is at their strongest when they're doing sustained damage from poke, and going to invade the camp that Ace was already in control of would have been basically suicidal. So letting that camp go, I think, was the absolute correct choice.
Neither team's not really risking anything, as this could just be a game just with the merry-go-round top-bottom shrine.
Yeah.
And just one single Dragon Knight at like 25 minutes can be the game-ending Dragon Knight.
You're right on the money. The rotation up faster for Malthel, by the way, so Sonya has to go top. We're going to see a big rotation down right now. Cleanse used early in this fight. They're just trying to bully the top and mid lanes, grab that extra soak to catch up, because they have a really good defensive comp down here bottom. Because Hanzo could just poke and siege for days. He's going to be able to clear up this siege giant camp, no problem. Avatar has to be used here for OJ, though. Did he actually use his Dragon's Arrow? I believe so. We have a cooldown bug today, so I was looking at something else.
I don't think I heard the sound, so
okay.
Maybe not. But meanwhile, the other two, Genji, Martel, have been pushing and soaking some, and now they're going for the KMI, which I think they should have been doing already. Quite slow of a rotation when they actually bought so much time, not really wasting too much other than the Avatar. Ooh, they're really trying hard here to get no Avatar this time.
Polybomb, there's the arrow coming out, but only stuns everybody for a moment. Witcher needs to get into that portal. That was a close call. The Tranquility is going to keep him alive. They're going to invade and steal the Siege Giant camp. Aimer looking for this kill onto Medivh, but he's protected, by the way. Something a Genji player should know all about. The top push continues. Ace is going to look for a fort. I love that we are already seeing Malthel head top, because that's where they could try to get at least something out of this situation. He's going to head up there and try to grab a fort for a fort. It's going to be difficult, though.
Quite late of a rotation, so Rush already clearing up most of it.
Yeah, this is risky. Everyone on Ace is coming up here. Hanan needs to leave. In fact, the team might already be too late.
If Sonya was able to unmount Sonya, unmount Martel, I think it could have been a better one. Ooh, but still getting caught.
Genji got out, but it's a quicker rotation. They are going to grab the Moon Shrine. They're just kind of trying to play tennis with Ace right now. For the first time, Ace will actually split. They were kind of roaming as 5. Now they can actually split Medivh top in his Raven form and deal with multiple threats and multiple macro moves by Feliz at once. Just stayed way too long. It was a good idea, and it forced a big rotation from Ace, but it's only good if you get away.
This kind of rotation and the game, the speed itself, seems like we're back in 2017, the late Nazeebo days, where they always try to go slow, passive until they're level 20. Which I think these two teams are doing right now. Without the Martel Feliz, yes, good idea to actually retreat after harassing a little bit. You don't really want to go in. You do know that Sonya is down there, but she's going to join very soon as they just hit level 20. That's the big mark.
Big moment here. This could be the winning moment for them. Blow up here on the Medivh, but the damage is traded back here onto the Hanzo. So Frankel down means it's going to be a tough fight. Cocoon onto the Malthel means he's going to be stuck. Pops his Tormented Souls, though. He's doing a lot of damage. He's cleansed as well here. Healing up, sustaining in this longer fight, but Aimer just cannot do enough damage. The keep, or sorry, the fort is not actually functioning in favor of Feliz here despite having health because the minion wave is so strong. That's going to be a dead fort. And this is a better trade for Ace, who wins this fight with 20. You can see the experience of Feliz and their understanding of team fights and in their, honestly, I want to just say better understanding of the game overall. Despite the fact that they made a few bad decisions that led to this kind of rocky road for them in this game, hanging on by a thread because they know how to min-maximize these fights when they're losing them. They know how to take a 19 versus 20 fight and make it into a trade, save their keeps, and live to tell the tales of another day. Dragon Knight's going to be up here at 17 minutes, but this should be a Dragon Knight they could survive. This could potentially be, with the Hanzo comp they have, a Dragon Knight they could prevent from killing a keep.
So another gank gone to Moore. Guess he does not have an avatar, and he falls.
And they even used the arrow there to try to stop it.
It's gonna be on the, some of the cooldown. And Franco actually does not. Not too sure what happened.
His jump was interrupted by the kick when he was trying to jump over the wall. He tried to dodge the kick with his jump, but I don't think it works that way. At least definitely didn't in this moment. That's probably game.
Let's see, keep down. And they will straight march into the core. They have the Dragon Knight. 18 minutes now. Marteo gets that 20, comes back alive, but lacking damage, and the core is going down.
Yeah, they just need the damage of Hanzo. It's not here. That is going to bring us to a third map here. GG. Ace comes in with the win. We're tied up now 1-1 in this